Hey guys, I'm glad I can be with you today. Before we get started, go ahead and grab something. You're going to need something to write on and something to write with. So you can pause the video if you need to get those things. And we're going to dive into our nonfiction lesson. So in our last lesson, we learned about three major types of nonfiction. Biographies, which are true facts and information about a person's life. And then reference text, which a reference means it's a place we can go to find a lot of information about one subject or topic in one place. And then the last is literary nonfiction, and that's what our focus is going to be on today. Literary nonfiction. What is that? Literary nonfiction. It's my personal favorite type of nonfiction, because it's a story. Somebody's telling you a story, or you get to read a story of something that really happened, and it's fun to read and entertaining and interesting, but at the same time it's filled with lots of facts and information. So the article that I'm going to read to you today is about a little baby sea turtle. So as you're enjoying the story, hopefully at the same time we're going to learn a lot of new information that we didn't know about sea turtles. So how do we navigate, how do we go through when we're reading nonfiction text so that we're getting the information and we're learning while we're reading? Well, I'm going to model that for you today and what that looks like. So I'm going to be thinking out loud. I'm going to be thinking about what I'm thinking as I'm reading. So you know that strategy that we used with our fiction called stop and jot, where we read something, and when we notice it, we stop and we write it down? Well, you're gonna see me do that today. What I'd like for you to do is I want you to pay attention to the images, the mental images that you have in your head, because I'm not showing you any pictures. So listen to the way the author uses the descriptive language to describe what's going on with this baby turtle. And then you're going to stop and you're going to draw your image. So let's go ahead and just map out on our piece of paper, draw a line that way and one horizontal, and go ahead and number those boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where you're going to do your drawings. So I'm going to read and stop and jot, and as you listen, you're going to stop and visualize and draw. Okay? All right, let's go for it. A turtle tots tail. In the soft sand of the nest, tiny Tilda struggled to free herself from her leathery egg. Hey, I'm already going to stop. I'm going to write leathery egg up here because that's already given me information about what a turtle's egg looks like. It's leathery looking. She wiggled and jiggled, waggled and wriggled. She flapped her gray paddle-shaped front flippers and squirmed further and further out. So, do you have an image of what's going on right now? I'm also going to put that her front flippers are web-shaped. Good information. She squirmed further and further out, but still not quite all the way. Hatching was hard work. Finally, with all her might, Tilda flicked her hind limbs against the egg. Paddle, paddle, kick. Paddle, 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 flick. Tilda had squirmed free. Worn out, the little hatchling rested on the cool sand. Now, I'm going to stop the video here. I want you to stop and draw what's happening in the story right now. What mental image do you have in your head? And as you draw, I'm going to write some of those descriptive words that the author used that helped us get a picture of what's going on with this little turtle. All right, I'm going to pause it there. I look forward to seeing your drawings. So what I noticed were a lot of vivid verbs that the author used. Jiggled, wiggled, squirmed, and flicked. That gave me a great image of what that turtle was doing to get out of that egg, flicking against the egg. So I also learned that not only do they have leathery looking eggs, and shaped front flippers for paddling, but also it's not that easy to get out of the egg. All right, let's keep reading. A moonlit sky shimmered over the ocean, which sparkled like diamonds. In the distance, waves crashed against the shore. Somehow, Tilda knew she had to creep toward the brightness. So where is she on her way to? The ocean? I did not know that they got into the ocean that fast after coming out of the egg. They go straight there. They go straight to the ocean after they hatch. All right, let's keep reading. Uh-oh. Black masked eyes peered curiously from behind a mound of sand. Whiskers twitched around a dark nose. A hungry raccoon. But even though she was tired, Tilda managed to skitter out of reach from the raccoon. Paddle, paddle, hurry. Paddle, paddle, scurry. All right, I'm going to stop here. And I've noticed something else. I didn't know that a raccoon was a predator of a sea turtle. All right, go ahead and stop and do your visualization for that again. I'm going to read it one more time and pay close attention as I read it to the environment, to where she's at and what the water looks like, and listen for those words that describe it. A moonlit sky shimmered over the ocean, which sparkled like diamonds. In the distance, waves crashed against the shore. Somehow, Tilda knew she had to creep toward the brightness. Clumsy in the clumpy sand, she waddled toward the glistening sea, which seemed so, so far away. Uh-oh. Black masked eyes peered curiously from behind a mound of sand. Whiskers twitched around a dark nose. A hungry raccoon. But even though she was tired, Tilda managed to skitter out of reach. Paddle, paddle, hurry. Paddle, paddle, scurry. All right, go ahead and draw the image that's in your head right now. All right, let's see what happens. The raccoon left hungry, slipped back into the inky night while Tilda continued crawling toward the brightness. She left tracks behind her as she crept along. Now, that word crept, I'm going to put that as a descriptive word because that shows me and tells me in my head the image that she's slowly moving towards the ocean. She crept. Good word. The sea seemed so far away, yet Tilda plodded on, pushing her body awkwardly over the sand. Now, remember, she leaves tracks behind her as she crept along. Hope you're getting that image in your head. Suddenly, the sand beneath her flippers quivered and shivered, and Tilda tumbled. Uh-oh. White as bone, a ghost crab scooted from a sandy burrow. Scuttling sideways on 8 legs, it waved pale claws. But again, Tilda scurried out of reach. Paddle, 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 zoom, skedaddle. Now, I've never thought about it, but if the sea turtle hatches and has to get to the ocean, I never thought about all the encounters or the dangers that she may have along the way. The author of this article has given us a great description of what Tilda went through to get to the ocean. I'd like for you to stop and draw your mental image of what's just happened to her as she meets this crab. Pause your video and draw it. All right. Getting towards the end of the article and the end of the story. The hungry crab disappeared along the sandy shore as Tilda skidded toward the sprawling sea. It seemed close now, so very close. Uh-oh. A noisy gull screeched overhead. Tilda dashed to the water's edge and pushed herself into a big wave. All right, wow, a lot's going on. A noisy gull. That tells me that There's drama. Tilda dashes to the water's edge and pushes herself into the big wave. But it was so powerful, it knocked her back against the shore. Now the gull swooped low. Tilda tossed herself into the waves once more. This time, the waves snatched her up like a warm hand. Nice metaphor there. And the waves carried her out, out to sea. Paddle, paddle, whoosh, in the water. Tilda was clumsy and slow no longer. She flapped her flippers like a bird in flight and swam away in the water ocean. That was a delightful story. Go ahead and draw that last scene, that last mental image of what happened to her last, and we'll talk about some more information about sea turtles that we've learned from this article. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. What I'd like for you to do with your mental image drawings is take a snapshot of it and post it on Seesaw for me, and then draw the most interesting fact that you learned from this article about Tilda. Have a great day. Love you guys.